Thorneberry from Prairie Threads joins us. I have to say, it's a small world because she was raised on Whidbey Island. And I used to live on Mukilteo, and I used to look at Whidbey Island growing up, and so nice to have you.
Nice to have you.
So it must be like a Washingtonian thing where you begin to take these things and make them into
It is.
things.
We're a practical breed in Washington State. Actually, it's all of the wet and the damp and wanting to stay warm and things like that.
Sure. But these are native to Nebraska, things you'll find.
Everything I'm going to show you today is all native Nebraska.
Okay.
And I had to relearn wools over again as I'm coming here, which is exciting to me because there's a lot of different breeds here in Nebraska than we have in Washington State. It's different climates.
Yes.
So,
oh, okay. So
you can smell them at this point.
yes, you can.
The fur, can't you, Leslie?
Yes.
But see, I love that.
Actually, I'm just going to tell you the same things that I tell my students. Now, what do you look for in a wool? There's lots of breeds in Nebraska. Surprisingly, a lot of people think there's very few sheep, but there's a lot, and there's a lot of different breeds. And each breed has its own unique purpose.
Okay.
And but I'm going to tell you, how do you actually know if it's a good fleece? Or so I'm just going to tell you how I would talk to my students.
Okay, go perfect.
So one of the things, the first thing that we look at is, what does it smell like? You know, do you know the farmer you're getting it from? And it is a little bit sheepy, a little lanolin smell, but it's fresh. It's not really, really stinky.
No, it just smells like hay.
If it's
does.
if
It
it's
does
too
like
stinky,
grass.
then that's probably not
a good thing.
It's too dirty. Okay.
Yes. And how dirty is it? That was a really good point. So this is right off of the sheep. And so you'll see a little bit of vegetable matter, but not a much. That's the thing that you look for next. How much vegetable matter? And we have a lot of the cedar trees up there that we get little scratchy things.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, touch it and feel. You just can't help but.
Touch it.
And that,
that's softer.
what you're feeling is lanolin.
Okay.
So the next thing I would say to them to look at is, first of all, I want you to take a lock, and we're going to do the tensile strength test, and we're just going to snap it like this, and if it doesn't break and it does a little pingy thing,
then it's
you're
good?
good. It's good. So the other thing you want to look at is, what do you want to use it for? Do you want to knit with it? Do you want to knit fine or lace? So you would be looking for a breed that has this. This actually that I brought is Icelandic, which the breed is over 1,000 years old. This comes from one of my students, has a flock, and they're beautiful. It's a beautiful fleece.
Where do you get it if you don't have if you don't have sheep at home? Yeah.
If you don't have sheep at home, well, you ask around, first of all, or there's a lot of places where you can actually buy, but a lot of farmers already have it, so you can actually talk to people.
How much should they sell it for?
Well, that's a good question.
Because I'm thinking a lot of farmers, they share them themselves, and then they can...
Right, and a lot of times we end up having where a lot of the people up our way just shear them, and they want you just to pay for the price of the shearing, because it costs them to pay for that. It's going to depend on how clean it is. What you're wanting to use for it, what you're willing to pay, actually, as well. But usually the farmers normally say they're set their price.
At what they want. Okay.
But you can also get it from, there's shops that have it. I sell
Specifically.
Fleece, yes.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this just so you know, this is going to be a series, so we're not going to try to compact all of this.
No, there's so much to.
Yeah.
This is 40 years of learning for me.
Wow.
So yeah.
So coming up after the break, what are you going to show us?
I'm going to show you some things that we can actually do with them. I'm going to show you some teeth for the series to come of some interesting things that we're going to be seeing. A couple of little Christmassy things.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So right after the break. Stay with us, guys.